Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're strapping in as cosmic explorers to map out the life cycle of the universe's stars. We'll be looking at a fascinating tool that astronomers use to make sense of the night sky, blending some incredible astrophysics with very grounded life lessons found right in our source material. So let's dive right in. Before we get into the nitty-gritty astrophysics and the charts, our source material actually grounds this whole lesson in a profound sense of awe. It quotes Isaiah 40:26, "Lift up your eyes and look to the heavens, who created all these." It's a really powerful reminder from the text to approach our study of the cosmos with a sense of genuine majesty and purpose, keeping the bigger picture in mind as we analyze the data. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with an introduction to star charts, move on to reading the famous HR diagram, look at some real star examples, and learn how to predict stellar life stages. Then, we'll explore the biblical morality tip and conclude with the concept of education with morality. Section 1. Introduction to Star Charts, Mapping the Cosmos. When you look up at the night sky, the sheer volume of stars can be completely overwhelming. How do scientists actually make sense of billions of scattered, twinkling lights? Well, astronomers use an incredibly elegant tool, the Hertzsprung-Russell, or HR diagram. By definition, it's a star chart used to classify stars by two primary metrics, their temperature and their brightness. I like to think of this diagram as a giant cosmic report card that helps scientists organize the stars. Just like charts organize complex data in other fields of science, the HR diagram is absolutely essential because it helps scientists figure out a star's current stage, its size, its temp, and how it directly compares to literally every other star in the galaxy. Moving on to Section 2, Reading the HR diagram, Plotting star data. Okay, so knowing what this chart does is great, but how do we actually read the thing? When plotting this cosmic report card, the y-axis measures brightness, and honestly, it behaves exactly like you'd expect a standard graph to behave. The higher up you go on the chart, the brighter the star. Simple enough, right? But look at the x-axis, which measures temperature. This is the real kicker. The temperature axis is completely reversed from what you might normally expect in a math class. The higher temperatures are actually plotted on the left side of the chart. That means the hotter the star, the further left it sits. It's a unique, quirky little feature of the HR diagram that you absolutely have to remember when analyzing star data. Section 3, Real Star Examples, Plotting Famous Stars. Let's actually see where three distinct famous stars land to really build our understanding. First up, take a look at our own sun. It sits right smack in the middle in a diagonal band that astronomers call the main sequence. That's because it has an average temperature and average brightness. But then, look at the star Betelgeuse. It's hanging out way up in the top right corner. That makes it a red giant, meaning it's relatively cool, which puts it on the right side of our reversed axis, but it's extremely bright, shooting it to the very top. On the flip side, check out Sirius B down in the bottom left. It's a white dwarf. This guy is incredibly hot, pushing it far left, but very dim, dropping it to the bottom. It just brilliantly illustrates how the cool but bright Betelgeuse sits vastly far away from the hot but dim Sirius B, with our sun chilling right in the middle. Which brings us to Section 4, Predicting Stellar Life Stages, a star's timeline. So, now that we've got the what and the how down, let's talk about the why. Why do astronomers prefer this specific report card over anything else? Well, it's because this chart actually functions as a predictable timeline for a star's entire life. And predicting that timeline is surprisingly straightforward. Step 1, you just locate the star's specific temperature and brightness to plot it on the chart. Step 2, you identify its grouping. Like we saw, most stars fall along that diagonal main sequence band. However, as they age, they actually move. Red giants appear above that band, and white dwarfs fall below it. Step 3, by knowing its position, you can predict the star's current life stage and its future evolution. Literally, by simply plotting a dot on this chart, scientists can guess a star's life stage and predict its ultimate future. It's just an amazing way to reveal the hidden patterns in nature. Now, before we transition to the more philosophical portion of the curriculum, I'm throwing a little homework challenge your way. I want you to actively test your new knowledge by tackling these 5 questions based on the astrophysics we just covered. Think about what 2 traits are compared, where most stars sit, the uniqueness of red giants, that weird reversed x-axis, and hey, see if you can pick a real star and place it on the chart yourself. You've totally got this. All right, Section 5, the biblical morality tip, stars and purpose. Zooming out from the hard science for a second, our source material makes a really fascinating pivot here. It provides this beautiful, grounding analogy. Just as stars have distinct stages, their beginnings, their middles along the main sequence, and their ends as white dwarfs or beyond, our lives also follow a trajectory, and every single phase has a purpose. The big lesson from the curriculum is to let your light shine. Whether you're just starting out on a new adventure or wrapping up a massive lifelong goal, remember that kind of like stars giving light to the dark expanse of space, your everyday actions can bring warmth and hope to the people around you. And our final section, Section 6, Education with Morality, the Godly Learner. This actually brings us to the core philosophy of the source text, which comes from the heroesmartacademy Godly Learners series. It answers exactly why they intertwined scientific education with biblical morality in the first place. The creators of the curriculum believe that learning purely for the sake of hoarding facts and data just isn't enough. Pointing to Romans 8:6-7, they state that keeping your mind spiritual brings true peace of mind. And they mention this has been their verifiable experience as people engage with their content. They firmly assert that education without morality will ultimately hurt the individual and society as a whole. And that leads right into this incredibly powerful question posed by the text. What is the point of being smart and supposedly educated if you continue to make bad choices that hurt yourself and others? Wow. It really challenges us to make sure that our scientific brilliance is matched by a strong ethical and moral foundation. So, I want to leave you with that final thought to reflect on as you map out the brilliant stages of your own life's journey. Keep exploring the universe, keep your moral compass steady, and thank you so much for joining me on this explainer.